Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to our broadcast perch high atop Phoenix Suns Arena. And here's the squib kick that caroms high into the hands of the receiver at the 8-yard line. And a beautiful return. That'll take the ball across midfield. Well done by the Rattlers. They got great field position out of it. There's no question about it. Jamal Miles
did a nice job
on the return.
That's how afraid they are of Jared Harrington. You're willing to give up the short field.
Got quite a reputation, doesn't the young guy?
And he deserves it. A hard worker, explosive type player, great ability.
Checking with Joe Pequeno after this first down play at the Spokane 22-yard line. Drew Powell will send his guys to the line of scrimmage in motion. Powell looks, Powell fires, Powell is almost intercepted, and the second near interception of the game for Drew.
Right to him. So they're trying to take a shot, and they're still bringing pressure. Makes it tough on the QB. He's got to get the ball out of his hand.
Joe Pequeno, I know you're down on the field somewhere. What do you got for us? Thank you, Joe. That was Troy Pelletier just carrying the football. 6-yard gain, gets it to the 16-yard line of Spokane. So great field position right now for the Rattlers to strike back after going down 14-7 a moment ago. We're at the 2-minute mark here of the first period. To the line and a quick throw near side of the field, and that ball is going to sail off the hands. That was Pelletier, who was targeted on the near sideline by Drew Powell. Well, so Drew throws to the flats right there. Said, is he feeling it a little bit? I mean, a couple of times he's thrown over the middle, and he's kind of thrown it right in the breadbasket of the opponent.
He seems a little bit off. But here's the thing people don't realize. When you get inside the 15-yard line in this game, the field's small enough it is, but you get in that condensed area, and that's all you're working with, it makes it tough. You've got to be on point, extremely accurate, very tough to come out of the gates down in this area.
Men in motion, including Pelletier, looking that direction for a second. A pump fake by Powell, and then he gets driven into the dasher pad on the far side of the field for a loss on the play. Actually, you're going to lose 2, maybe 3 yards, and they'll mark him back at the 19-yard line, and we may get a chance to see Ernest Lacayo come out here. Pardon me on that. Yeah. They opted to go for it on fourth down. Pardon.
No, it's turnover on downs. Coach Guy will not be happy with that. We got to get something going offensively, and you got to Drew's just got to hit the easy ones when he has the easy shots. And he understands there's going to be pressure when they're only blocking with 3 and they're bringing 4, but you've got to hit the wide open guys when they're open.
Are you trying to tell me that there are some easy opportunities out there?
Well, it's never easy, man, right?
Hard to find those, isn't it? McCallum takes the snap, and he's got a ton of time to throw down that right sideline. Tipped away defensively, and well done, well defended. Well defended by the defender for the Arizona Rattlers. He was back in beautiful position, and I had that as Dylan Winfrey, who was back and broke up the pass.
Yeah, that's a really good job of getting back. You see him, he turns and runs towards the receiver to get close to him so there's no separation, but does a really nice job of breaking it up. And they're trying to get that matchup outside.
And we'll get a whistle to end that first period, and that will bring us to the end of an exciting opening stanza tonight here at Phoenix Suns Arena, where the Arizona Rattlers trail by 7 And on defense, they're going to try to get a big hold. We'll move to the second quarter in just a moment. We thank you for joining us, everybody, for our broadcast of Arizona Rattlers football right here at Simmons Media Group. And, of course, on LATV 44.1 FM, digital channel 44.1 FM on your TV. And our good friends at The Fanatic as well on radio, AM 1450. Back in just a moment.
It happened. We got the house! You did! 2,000 miles away.
We do long-distance moves every day.
Pods does all the driving and so much more.
Need extra help loading?
Yes.
We got this.
Also might want
more time? We're flexible.
Flexible means you can keep your container longer or store with us. Then we deliver it to your home, across town, or across the country.
We made it.
Yeah, you did!
Pods, your personal moving and storage team.
Getting the right loan with the best combination of service rates and fees isn't always as easy as pushing a button, particularly for people who don't fit the cookie-cutter approval process. The square pegs, the self-employed, recently divorced, less than perfect credit, steadfast hard workers. At Nova Home Loans, we work hard to deliver real loans to real people living real lives. Nova Home Loans. Together, we've got this.
Hey, back again, everybody. Welcome back to our location in Phoenix. Site of the Arizona Rattlers matchup at 4-1 on the campaign, taking on another 4-1 team. And both chasing the as yet unbeaten Frisco Fighters.
Well, they've got a great coach in Clint Dozell. Guy understands the game and really done a nice job. And typically you have a little learning curve when you come into a new league, but he's doing a nice job of leading that team. Right now, the Rattler defense needs to bow their neck here and get a stop. And it's still early in the game, so there's no reason to panic, but they need to get a stop here and really make it tough for Charles McCullum, who is off to a hot start and really playing extremely well the way he's done over the last few weeks.
McCallum will send his guys in motion, quick flip to the right side. And that play design will result in about a 6-yard pickup. Fights his way out to the 25-yard line. Again, on the receiving end was Troy Evans.
If you get 5 yards a pop on a 50-yard field, man, you're moving right along, right? They'll take that on the big field.
Third down play coming up. Third down and 4. Motion men. And nice design down the right sideline. A hurdle across the 10-yard line. And a nice little pickup once again. The guy on the rushing end of that, of course, Sap Lynch did a good job as he hurdled across the 10-yard line, and he set his team up for a 1st and goal.
This is just a great run. Great job up front on the right side of the line by Brandon Smith to really kick out. And check that. It was Bill Vaval. Did a nice job of throwing upfield against one of the toughest defenders I've seen, Devonzo.
Ball on the 7-yard line. First down play coming up. Confusion in the backfield. McCallum has to turn to his guys. Got a lot of time on the play clock. And he drops the snap. And isn't that how it goes, right? You get that confusion. You get your quarterback a little bit out of sorts. And he puts the ball on the turf. And let's see if the Rattlers can take advantage of that.
Well, they missed it. They needed to get that ball off the fumble there. But you get a little discombobulated. You're trying to explain some things, and then you're trying to hurry on the other end of it. But that's one of those breaks the Rattlers need to capture right here in that situation.
Well, it cost them a yard. Back to the 8.5-yard line. Give right side. And the running back is wrapped up quickly. Great job defensively by Ricky Watt Jr., the linebacker who came up and put a nice hit on Sap Lynch to keep him from getting into the end zone. That was a 3-yard gain. The ball rests on the 5, third down play.
Well, that was a great effort by him to really fight off the block and make the tackle at all. But he's got to bring his friends to the party.
Boy, this crowd is starting to make some noise. And the Rattlers defense trying to get a big third down stop here. Ball at the 5-yard line. McCallum puts him in motion. He will fake the toss, throw over the middle, and it's broken up. Great defensive play. And making another fine defensive play in the backfield is Dylan Winfrey for the Rattlers.
And I tell you what, he's going to want this one back because he could have intercepted this ball. He gets both hands on it. But a great job of knocking it down. So you've got the fumble on the ground on the QB snap. That's one missed opportunity. That's another one right there.
Well, that's kind of I guess those are a couple of givebacks because the guys on the other side could say the same thing on those 2 interception opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, those hit right in the bread baskets. But as an offensive player, we always say that's why they're playing defense, man.
How about a field goal try here at the 11:24 mark of the second quarter? Snap, hold, and it's blocked. The kick is blocked. And the Rattlers have come up with a great stop. You asked for a stop a moment ago, said, and your defense just gave you one right there.
That's a terrific effort up front. Defense gets off the field. Get this place fired up, get these fans going.
And how about we check in with Joe Pequeno? He's patrolling the sideline, running around. I see him down there. And Joe, I know that was a huge block on the field goal try. And I think it was Ricky Watt Jr., the guy that made that block. Hey, Joe, what do you got for us down there?
No doubt. I'll tell you what, that was a great effort rushing up the middle. Talked about the touchdown-saving tackle he made while being blocked at the same time. Great effort by him on that drive.
And Daryl Monroe is going to get the first give of this possession now for the Rattler offense, and he'll bring it from the 5 out to the 10-yard line, a 5-yard gain.
Settle things down here, right? You want to get Drew Powell in a rhythm somehow. Use that running game, the top-ranked rushing attack to get it going.
And he'll fake it, run the RPO on the near side, and he'll take a hit at about the 14-yard line. That's where they'll mark him down. He ends up with a 4-yard gain on the play, third down and a yard. As
that's another good read by him on the pull or keep. They're running just some simple zone reads. You read that DN, he crashes down and is out of control. You pull that ball out and take it up the field.
You know that the RPO is a devisement of the spread offense, right? But you can't really say spread offense when you're talking about the confines of indoor football league. I want to ask you about how you execute that at this level here in a moment. Here's a give, and that's a nice gain that'll take it across the 20-yard line. It's right near midfield and just a bit shy. I'm going to say about a 9-yard gain on the play to the 23-yard line.
Nice. How
do you execute that here?
It's still the same reads. I don't care if it's a 27.5-foot yard wide field or a 53.5 yard field. You're still reading the same people, right? You're putting your eyes on that defensive end, and if he comes down hard inside too much because he's unblocked, we don't block him. You let him go. That's all you're looking at when you're running zone reads.
Rattlers down 7. Powell throws toward the end zone, and his pass is intercepted. One-handed grab and
Wow.
intercepted right at the goal line, brought out to the 2-yard line. Big defensive play, and Mike Green just showed why he is so valuable to this Spokane defense. What a play he makes on defense.
Yeah, Drew is a little bit late. I think Jared's open on the route, but the ball comes out a little late.
Well, Drew has not been the sharpest yet here tonight.
He'll get it going. The champions always do. The guys that understand how to play find a way, but he's got to play his way out of it right now. Sometimes,
the interesting thing about those throws, said, is that one right there that actually produced an interception was the best of the throws. I mean, the most difficult anyway on the defender. The ones that were in the breadbasket, they couldn't hold on to. So he's got to figure that out today. I'm sure that he's going to dial himself in.
Well, but what do? You've got the top-ranked rushing attack. You go back to your rushing attack. Coach Guy knows what he's doing. He understands. But your quarterback that's a year and a half removed from being the MVP of the league understands that. He's a great player. He'll get it rolling. He can't press now that he's had some throws go away from him. He's just got to stick with what he knows to do. So efficient just the last game, 14 of 16, passing the ball. He's got to just take what this Spokane team has given him. He's got the shot there. You got to get it out early, throw it out there, let your guy go get it. Harrington can outrun just about anybody down there. Put it out there, let him go get it.
Well, for the moment, we're going to get a chance to see the guys on the other side. Charles McCollum, the quarterback out of Stillman College, with veteran-level status on this team, is going to lead them out. We'll see if he can take his team the length of the field and add to a 14-7 Spokane lead. Motion men, the quick toss, it's batted in the air at the line of scrimmage. Great defense up front by the Rattlers, and the guy across that defensive line up there, it looked like, is that Larry Tharp? That I'm trying to figure out, I think it was.
Yeah, on the right side, yep.
Larry Tharp Jr., the guy that gets a hand up there and bats it down defensively for the Rattlers. McCallum on second down. Snap, working from the end zone. And this pass is too tall for the receiver.
That's actually a pretty good throw. Jolly's got to get his head around when he gets out of his break. And you see McCullum talking to him, tell him get your head around when the ball's thrown.
Rattler defense, big opportunity, and the fans are letting them know about it. 3rd down and 10. To the line they go. McCallum under pressure, and he is going to go down.
Safety.
He is sacked in the end zone. That'll be a safety.
Nick DeVonzo.
Huge play.
His 3rd sack of the season. I tell you what, I had the good fortune to actually call a couple of his games when he was at New Mexico playing for Bob Davie. And the kid's motor never, ever stops. He is all gas, no brake, 100 miles an hour, big time play.
Hey, let's throw it down. There's Joe Pequeno down there with the hero of the moments. Thank you, Joe. Right on the spot. Good stuff. How about that now? 14-9. The Diamondbacks, the Rattlers, close to within 5. And at the 7:07 mark here in the second quarter. There's a shot of Harrington on the big screen at the field. And we'll see if he gets a chance to return a football here in this one.
I still think they're going to try and go with the squib.
Well, if you're going to avoid Harrington and you're going to kick the ball like that, you're going to pay a big price. Here is a return that brings the ball deep into Spokane territory and sets the Rattlers up on a Jamal Miles return after the safety in a great spot. They're at the 18-yard line of Spokane.
The last drive they started on their 5. That's because of the missed field goal attempt. But their average starting field position is about the 16.5-yard line outside of that drive. So Spokane's got them down here in this position in the red zone. Arizona's got to cash in down with this great field position.
Ball at the 18-yard line. Powell sends him in motion. Quick toss to Monroe. And he is going to dance his way inside the 10-yard line.
And I tell you what, it's a welcome sight to see Monroe moving with such quickness and power. He's starting to really get back into form and into shape. Phenomenal talent. This kid can flat out run the football with the best of them. But you can see he's rounding into good shape right now. He's starting to run and move like himself.
He got 10 yards, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Ball at the 8-yard line. The snap. Toss right side. Monroe again. He'll cut it back up inside to the 5-yard line before he is dragged down right there. 3-yard pickup on the play. 2nd down and goal
again
for the Rattlers.
Mike Green with a nice hit from the backside. He's had a big impact on this game so far, but what I talked about earlier after the last interception, Kevin knows what he's doing. He's going to go back to the rushing attack. They lead the league in the rushing department for a reason.
Well, can the Rattlers take the lead for the first time in the game? Play action. Powell throws opposite side, wide open. Pass caught. Touchdown, Rattlers.
That's Daryl Monroe. And this is such a well-designed play. You run Jared Harrington across the face of your quarterback. He makes the fake, and he is open right away. It happens so fast. He is open right away. And he ends up taking a big shot.
Boy, what a beautiful play call.
Yep, great call.
And he gives the Rattlers the lead for the first time in the game. Ernesto Lacayo steps on and drills it through and makes it 16-14. The Rattlers in front of the Shock. We'll take a timeout. What a game. What an atmosphere tonight here at the Snake Pit. We'll be back in a moment with the kickoff. You are listening to and watching Arizona Rattlers football. Back in just a moment.
We're your neighbors, and we're sports fans. Huge fans. So come on over. It's game time. There's plenty of food. And everything else we know you love. You choose your favorite games to watch and hear. We're your home for sports, Arizona. So join us today at CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
I always make sure I have Victus with me wherever I go. Before and after practice, before and after a workout, even before and after I sleep. Victus is the full package when it comes to rest and recovery.
Victus is safe and effective, and that's the most important detail for us. We need our players on the field on game day, and if we're going to continue our winning ways, then Victus will help our players get as close to 100% as possible.
Back to the action, and a high kick that's fielded at the 3-yard line. And a nice little nifty move to get some space on the far dasher pad sideline. Pretty good return out there for Troy Evans. And he will escape being pinned back deep. Knocked down at the 21-yard line. First down for the Shock at that location. Floyd Simmons, Sed Bonner here on the play-by-play call of tonight's Rattlers action. We are joined on the sideline by Joe Pequeno, and we'll get to him in a couple of moments. 16-14 Rattlers. McCallum has it, and he's got a man wide open near sideline. Caught at the 15, and then knocked out at the 8-yard line. That ends up being a big, big gain and a first down. Well, just well done.
Yeah, it's just a wheel route with a post route inside. Two guys, and they're crossing, so it makes it tough on the defense, especially if you're trying to get hands-on. You can't hang on to that inside route too long. You got to get outside to where you're supposed to go.
Coverage blown, and here comes the running attack. And a ball that will get to just outside the 5. They're going to mark him at the 6-yard line, where the middle of that Rattlers defense really rose up to stop Devontae Sapp Lynch. How about the 6-yard line is where he will rest the ball. Second down play coming up. Well, Spokane is striking right back, Said. I mean, after the Rattlers came back, got the big safety that then set them up in great field position to score the touchdown following. Spokane is certainly not going anywhere.
Yeah, this is a veteran team, veteran quarterback. They won't get rattled. You gotta take it out of them.
Look at McCallum dancing and working his way into the end zone. And there's no flags down. That'll be a touchdown for McCallum and the Shock. 6 yards on the carry up the middle, and he just did a great job. I mean, that was almost all McCallum to get into the end zone.
You've got to keep eye on them. And you see the guys are in control. They're not rushing out of control. But he is a gifted runner, even as long as he's been around playing. He could still move. He's quick.
Here's the snap. And there's the kick. And it's good for the Shock. They'll move back out in front, 21-16. Back and forth. Action going on in the second quarter. 2 minutes and 6 seconds left in this first half. Stand by, everybody. Thank you for joining us as we bring you broadcast coverage of the Arizona Rattlers right here. Again, the score, 21-16, Spokane in front. We're back in just a moment.
It happened. We got the house! We did! 2,000 miles away.
We do long-distance moves every day.
Pods does all the driving and so much more.
Need extra help loading?
Yes.
We got this.
Also might want
More time? We're flexible.
Flexible means you can keep your container longer or store with us. Then we deliver it to your home, across town or across the country.
we made it.
Yeah, you did!
Pods, your personal moving and storage team.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Play outside. Play inside. Play in style all summer long. Talking Stick Resort's summer playcation starting at $109 a night with a $25 food and beverage credit. Also, take advantage of great deals at Topgolf, Talking Stick Golf Club, iFly, Octane Raceway, Medieval Times, and much more. Summer playcation at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Snake Pits, otherwise known as Phoenix Suns Arena. He said Bonner, how about those Phoenix Suns? Kind of like what they're doing right now?
I did up until the last game.
Well, I mean, nine in a row, you know.
Listen, when you got it rolling, you got to keep it rolling.
It's just little room to breathe in the playoffs, isn't there?
I don't know what Sawyer Petrie is pointing at the scoreboard like he just now saw it right now for the first time.
Yeah.
You had all pregame. You kicked 100 balls in pregame, and now you hit it, and you're going to point up at it like, who parked that here while I'm trying to kick?
He boots it, he kicks it, he nails it. I mean, it's only a $30 million scoreboard, but it's going to be a little bit conspicuous.
To stand there and look at it like it's its fault. Come on, dude. Where's the awareness?
Well, you got to have something to say to Coach. Drew Powell will give. Nice misdirection. Good job by putting his foot in the ground, going the other way. Daryl Monroe, and he picks up a big first down.
Exactly what I'm talking about with the way he's moving. This is the best I've seen him move since his knee injury a couple seasons ago. But this is such a quick cut he has to make here. He's forced to do it because there's a free running defender coming down the line about to tackle him. He just gives him the slip for a big gain.
11 yards. Motion. Powell looking, throwing. And look at that nice slipped tackle to make it a respectable gain. 6 yards to the 14-yard line. Jamal Miles on the receiving end for the Rattlers, hauling it in at the 14.
And that's a crisp throw. It's a little bit late because he wants something bigger, but he's able to come down and check it down and still get 5 yards on the play.
It's the 1 minute timeout. The 1 minute break here in the first half. 21-16, and the Rattlers poised to perhaps grab the lead going into the break. We'll see if they can do just that. They might leave plenty of time for Spokane, by the way, if they can get into the end zone right here. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to and watching Arizona Rattlers football. Back after this.
I always make sure I have Victus with me wherever I go. Before and after practice, before and after a workout, even before and after I sleep. Victus is the full package when it comes to rest and recovery.
Victus is safe and effective, and that's the most important detail for us.
Well, they called for immediate timeout, and we took one, and then we didn't get one.
You see that great read by Drew Powell right there, reads the end, and goes too far upfield.
Well, the good news is we got footage for you right there, folks. And Drew Powell takes it into the end zone for the Rattlers touchdown, and that is what they're looking for from Drew all night long. Lacayo's point after is up, and it's good. And this time we're going to grab a break for real. So our score closing in on the first half, 23-21. Rattlers in front of the Spokane Shock. You are listening to and watching Arizona Rattlers football. Back after this.
I always make sure I have Victus with me wherever I go. Before and after practice, before and after a workout, even before and after I sleep. Victus is the full package when it comes to rest and recovery.
Victus is safe and effective, and that's the most important detail for us. We need our players on the field on game day, and if we're going to continue our winning ways, then Victus will help our players get as close to 100% as possible.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Getting the right loan with the best combination of service rates and fees isn't always as easy as pushing a button, particularly for people who don't fit the cookie-cutter approval process. The square pegs, the self-employed, recently divorced, less than perfect credit, steadfast hard workers. At Nova Home Loans, we work hard to deliver real loans to real people living real lives. Nova Home Loans. Together, we've got this.
We're back, and we're closing in on the end of the first half here at Phoenix Suns Arena. The Snake Pit, home of the Arizona Rattlers. Thank you, Rattlers Nation, for joining us. And look at this. The onside kick attempt is going to be handled at the 10-yard line and handled successfully by the good hands crew up front for Spokane. Looked like the guy that got on it was Jordan Jolly right at the 10-yard line, and that'll give McCallum and his guys on offense great field position.
This is
with 54 seconds left.
This is bad all the way around. I mean, you get Montavious Atkinson banged up, but you're going to see maybe one or two more of these. Spokane may try and score here and try to get another onside kick. Inside a minute is where you try to steal a few extra possessions with using the onside kicks.
Well, listen, Coach Guy is a gunslinger at times, and he certainly rolled the dice on that one.
It's a tough place to score. It's tough to score down here, but you want to try and steal an extra possession.
Confusion in the backfield. Motion, and then they call the motion off, and here they go again. Back at it. And the give is up the middle, and a slashing run that goes inside the that'll go inside the 1-yard line. That's Devontae Sapp Lynch that did a nice job of cutting back. Just found a little bit of that grain to work with, and he'll get it to the 1-yard line.
Yeah, I tell you, Hensley, Vavau, and Smith doing a nice job of just moving people, staying in front, staying on their blocks long enough to give him an angle to cut. You watch him walk around, Sapp Lynch, and he doesn't look, it's kind of like, looks a little slow, a little hobbled. Then all of a sudden he hits the hole, and it's burst. He's got such quicks.
Stoppage of play on the field, but we'll stay here with it. 23-21. Rattlers in front. Well, after going ahead on that Drew Powell touchdown run a few moments ago, said the Rattlers really could have used a defensive stop right here, or even if they had been able to pin Spokane back deep on the kick, if they could just create an opportunity.
No fear, my friend. Don't worry. There's 46 seconds left.
It's an eternity, isn't it?
There's plenty of time. They're going to get another possession, and they're probably going to go down and score when they get that possession.
Well, that's what this game is all about. That is one of the distinguishing characteristics between this game and full-size football field you're used to. Here's the quarterback faking and keeping, and McCallum is unmolested into the end zone for the easy touchdown for Spokane. So they get on the board quickly.
Well, they take advantage of an aggressive backside end. And really good read and pull, and makes it easy.
So 27-23 is our score here now. Shock go back in front.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they onside here as well.
Point after. Sawyer Petrie is the kicker. And he busts that one perfectly through. 28-23 is our score. Spokane in front. We'll stay right here with it. So said the last time I checked, and I only mentioned in that vein because there could be some fluidity with the way COVID-19 shaped things up. The last time I checked, there would be a 6-team playoff at the end of the year.
Correct.
And so the top 2 teams would get byes. The other 4 teams play to a semifinal, and then, of course, the championship game at the end of it, the United Bowl. The defending champions are a team that have already suffered a loss. Sioux Falls.
Back-to-back losses.
2 losses.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say a loss to this team right here. Spokane went in there and I think shocked them early, but now we're looking at a team. We're seeing evidence of a team that I don't think we should be all that shocked that they took down Sioux Falls.
No, they're a talented team, and it took them a little bit to get some cohesion. But they're definitely in that upper tier group. I mean, they looked the part, they play the part. Some solid players.
Here's a deep kick that just misses the scoreboard. Goes into the stands, and somebody has themselves a souvenir. That's one of the great things about this game. It's such a fan-friendly game.
Well,
And the ball goes into the stands. That's your ball to keep.
Well, it's also, once it goes out of bounds, it's going to be placed on the 20-yard line, not the 25. The first one goes on the 20, and then after that, it's 25. So that's the first one. The other one went off the scoreboard.
Well, the officials are right now leaving the ball at the 25-yard line, but
maybe that off the scoreboard counts.
Well, I guess they're counting it because
they're trying to keep play rolling, keep things rolling, so you keep it in play instead of kicking it out of bounds.
The debate is over one way or the other. Here's the toss right side, and that's caught near the sideline. And for the first time, Jared Harrington is going to get his number called on the receiving end for the Rattlers.
Great bench route right there. He comes down, runs that little out motion, that little out route. Drew Powell hits him right in stride. And he's settling in, starting to snap some balls out of his hand quickly, and they're starting to get to their destination on target.
8 yards to gain. The 17, the spot. 17 of Spokane. Powell flushed, and he's got room to run down this left sideline, and he will dance into the end zone with an Arizona Rattlers touchdown. I think I heard that called just a couple of moments ago from this broadcast booth.
I tell you what, this kid just finds a way to get it done. Watch the explosive move, a little dive inside, gets to the edge. And again, I the same thing I would tell the Rattlers D, I would tell Spokane. You can't leave this guy unchecked in the backfield. Someone has to mirror him. Problem is, are they quick enough? Are they good enough athlete to mirror him and get him on the ground?
Lacayo knocks it through. The kick is good. And I know that Joe Pequeno is down on the field looking for someone to speak to. And he might be looking for the quarterback who just came up big on the touchdown run. Let's throw it down. Joe Pequeno on the sideline. All right, Joe, thanks. 30-28, the Rattlers move right back in front. So that little onside kick didn't really cost him, did it?
No. And you may see it again. Why
you might see it again with 33 seconds?
Yes. Why are you so surprised? This is what it's all about. Stealing possessions, applying pressure to your opponent. Applying pressure.
What a game. What a game. Lacayo's kick is high and off the hands of the receiver, bounces around in the end zone. Opportunity for the coverage team, and the Rattlers are going to do a good job taking advantage of that and knock the return man, Troy Evans, down at the 5-yard line. Well, that was just really well done. And on coverage, Ricky Wyatt, who is, well, he makes another special teams play there. He blocked the field goal earlier in the game, and he helps to limit the return to the 6-yard line. So that's where Spokane will have the football, and they've got time. You know the game. 30 seconds remaining in the half. We'll see if the Rattlers can protect a 2-point advantage.
They still have all 3 timeouts here as well, so no hurry, no rush for these guys.
McCallum looking deep. Receiver adjusts. Cannot adjust enough to make that catch. Defensively, Pearson was back for the Rattlers to help defend that.
It's fortunate. That ball was underthrown. Cameron Solomon was out in front. Ball was thrown late.
Well, McCallum feels like he was setting his guy up in the right spot, that his guy maybe ran the wrong route, had the wrong read on that. Not sure about it, but that was one of those plays that could have easily resulted in a pass interference had the receiver kind of put the brakes on. McCallum Looking at throws, got some time, slips a pass out here on the near side, caught at the 11-yard line, and a nice gain. And the guy that was able to haul it in, Devontae Sapp Lynch, New Mexico Highlands product, and he'll take it into Rattlers territory. Ball at the 20-yard line with 16 seconds remaining.
Well done. Rattlers bringing heat, bringing pressure. That is well done by Spokane. Sapp Lynch blocking. Then he just kind of late checks out of the backfield. That makes it tough.
Timeout is taken out there by the offense. Try to preserve a little time and see if they can get into the end zone one more time and retake the lead. It's been a back-and-forth game. The Shocks struck first, led it 7-0. Rattlers tied them up. Shock went ahead. Rattlers tied again. Rattlers eventually got a safety and followed that with a great return that led them to a lead, and then on that onside just a couple of moments ago, they relented that lead, gave it back to Spokane. But you saw Drew Pell get into the end zone just a few minutes ago. Put him back in front. 30-28. 2 men to the line, and that'll open up some space, but closed down quickly defensively. Troy Evans hauls it in, but Montavious Atkinson
hauled him in.
Knocked him down.
I mean, that's a great play.
Just a 2-yard pickup on the play. Well, that's what you hire those guys to play linebacker for right there, isn't it?
Absolutely. Bring the heat and don't be nice about it.
So that'll bring up a second down play. Timeout spent again, by the way, with 9 seconds remaining. So that'll leave the Shock with 1 timeout left. The Rattlers, though I don't think it comes into play, have 2 timeouts left.
It could. You get a turnover. It can always come into play.
So, 30-28, Rattlers in front. 9 seconds left, first half. Motion to the line, McCallum. It opens up in front of him, and then it closes down just that quick. Great defensive play. And the guy up front that got it done, Josh Gordon, for the Rattlers. Big play.
He's down.
McCallum goes to the turf and slow in getting back up. And down again. Boy, that's bad news.
Very bad news. I mean, he had been playing so well.
Well, he is gingerly working his way off the field. You see on the shot right there. He's got that look of maybe just banged up and we might see him back, but now he's hobbling big time as he goes in toward the locker room. So they're going to look at him. There's 1 second remaining, and the kicking team is going to come on and try to take back the lead for Spokane. The kicker is Sawyer Petrie, and he already has a field goal in this game.
He's also had 1 blocked, and that's what the Rattlers need right now.
And pardon me on that, you're right about that. He has not kicked successfully a field goal. He had that kick blocked, the 1 field goal attempt. Listen to the crowd. Listen to Rattler Nation.
I think they may be going to look at and see if this is a horse collar. They may be going to look and see if this is a horse collar tackle. And that's what the call is. And it looked like he had him on the side of the shirt, not in the collar, but that's what they're looking at.
Okay, so they're reviewing the play. And said when I'm looking at that from an injury standpoint, boy, it looked like that left knee was compromised when the weight of the defender came down on him.
Yeah, but that's why they're looking to make sure it's not a horse collar. But he grabs the shirt. He clearly grabs the shirt there and pulls down.
What do you think the call is right there?
There's no call. Right? It's just a football play. He grabs the shirt, pulls down, and his body's there. It's a tough play, unfortunate, but it's not a call. We're talking about all these teams getting better. You've got two teams sitting at 4-1. You've got Iowa Barnstormers playing well, 4-2. The Bucks are 5-3. They've already played 8 games, but there will be 8 teams in this playoff vying to get to the United Bowl. So they were making sure there wasn't a legal twist up front by the defensive line. I thought they were looking for a horse collar.
Well, okay. We've got 1 second remaining.
You've got guys with blocks, 2 blocks on this. Up front, you've got Ricky Wyatt Jr., and you've also got Devonzo, who's blocked a field goal as well.
35-yard attempt into those very narrow uprights, and a timeout taken. Coach Guy wants to
freeze him.
Put some
ice on him.
Put some ice on the young man.
It's a great time. Some of the best fans in all of football.
And the crowd erupting, and another timeout taken because you've got it to spend. So Coach Guy is going to once again take that timeout.
Remember that statement you said about 2.5 minutes ago? Well,
yeah.
The Rattlers have 2, but probably won't use them.
There they go.
Bam, just like that.
Came into play. Came into play big time.
Came into play. So if you've got a guy with a power bull rush, something that's going to be legal and not get a penalty called, here's the time to unleash him.
Right here, right now, you say, huh?
Right here.
Now,
shut it down. You get the ball coming out.
The Rattlers are certainly playing soft on this. I'm not sure what the rules are on what you can bring on a field goal attempt.
You bring your 4 up front, and those guys are going to come. They're not going soft at all. You watch the guys in black shirts.
Here's that kick, and it's going to be pushed, I believe. It's pushed out to the right. And so 2 timeouts taken by Coach Guy in the final moment, I believe, have helped to put enough pressure on Petrie, the kicker. And that kick is wide to the right, and the Rattlers going to hold on to that lead going at halftime.
It's great finish by them, especially the way they got it started. And our buddy Joe Pacino's downstairs with our man, Coach Kevin Guy.
All right, Joe, what do you got? Halftime activities are getting underway here at the Snake Pits in Phoenix, Arizona. We'll take a timeout. Our halftime report is on the way here in a few moments. You saw that graphic a moment ago. We will look at a breakdown on the kicker for this Rattlers team, Ernesto Lacayo. That's on the way here at halftime, and a whole lot more. Whatever you do, don't go away. Our score, Arizona 30, Spokane 28. We'll continue with more Arizona Rattlers football in our halftime breakdown right after this.
Play outside. Play inside. Play in style all summer long. Talking Stick Resort's summer playcation starting at $109 a night with a $25 food and beverage credit. Also, take advantage of great deals at Odyssey, Butterfly Wonderland, Pangea, Mavericks, and much more. Summer playcation at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
It happened. We got the house! We did! 2,000 miles away.
We do long distance moves every day.
Pods does all the driving and so much more.
Need extra help loading?
Yes.
We got this.
Also might want
more time? We're flexible.
Flexible means you can keep your container longer or store with us. Then we deliver it to your home, across town or across the country.
We made it.
Yeah, you did!
Pods, your personal moving and storage team.
Getting the right loan with the best combination of service rates and fees isn't always as easy as pushing a button, particularly for people who don't fit the cookie-cutter approval process. The square pegs, the self-employed, recently divorced, less than perfect credit, steadfast hard workers. At Nova Home Loans, we work hard to deliver real loans to real people living real lives. Nova Home Loans. Together, we've got this.
I always make sure I have Victus with me wherever I go. Before and after practice, before and after a workout, even before and after I sleep. Victus is the full package when it comes to rest and recovery.
Victus is safe and effective, and that's the most important detail for us. We need our players on the field on game day, and if we're going to continue our winning ways, then Victus will help our players get as close to 100% as possible.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Hey, a lot of activity going on down on the field right now. And we hope that you're enjoying our broadcast of Arizona Rattlers football tonight. Halftime score 30-28. The Rattlers lead the Spokane Shock. Floyd Simmons, along with my broadcast partner, Cedric Bonner, the great one. Cedric, I remember you like those big shoulder pads. I mean,
I'm a big guy. What do I look like with some little pads on, man? Come on.
You know, you wanted to make your presence known out there. You lowered a shoulder or two.
That was all me. Not shoulder pads. That was
it's a big man right there. It's a big man. Well, that first half said this Rattlers team, I mean, they kind of put on a demonstration about what the game is all about. And you walked us through that last minute, a little more than a minute of activity where there was a flurry going back and forth. I mean,
well, you got to stay locked in because that last minute's a chance to possibly steal a few possessions. Listen, the Rattlers did not play well coming out of the gates. Defense was a little confused. Spokane was really attacking him, doing a good job of creating mismatches early, taking advantage of it. Drew Powell started really cold. He was 1 of 5 to start the game, and then hit his last 2 and had a big touchdown run. So they're starting to get things kind of moving. But the big question for me now is, how is Charles McCullum's health after that first half? He was marvelous in the first half. Did a nice job, presented a ton of problems for the Rattlers. But what's he going to look like coming back out in the first half? Their offense was clicking. They were getting things done. what's going to happen for Spokane at quarterback.
Yeah, and what do you say about Drew Powell's kind of resurgence later in the half, right? He struggled in the first quarter in particular. He threw 3 pretty suspect passes in that half. One of those was intercepted, but then he collected himself. He started to hit his spots, and, of course, the running game, the legs came alive.
And that's what you always resort to your strengths, right? And he is an elite, not a good, he is an elite runner at the quarterback spot because he understands what he's looking at. He understands how to read it. Elite runner. So you lean on what you're built on, and that's what he did. He did a nice job of just continuing to chop away. Things weren't going. The ball wasn't coming out right, but he just kept playing, kept leading, right? You made a few mistakes, but he just continued to play football, and then things start to go his way. He hit a couple easy throws, right on the money, some bullet shots, and then continued that rushing attack.
And then what would you say to this, Said? How about the fact that the Rattlers, for the most part this season, have been fast starters? They've had some trouble, a little maybe lackadaisicalness in the second halves, have yielded some leads, have struggled to hold at the end, gave up a 17-point fourth quarter at least one time this season, and held on to win that game. Came out maybe, I don't know, a little flat, a little different look tonight.
Well, because they've had to come out, right? Spokane didn't come in here messing around. You know, to get a fast start, you're going to have to come out here, shut Spokane down. Spokane came out here meaning business. They came here to win, and they came out playing like that early. So obviously you can't get off to the great start you want, but you got to give them credit for coming out here to play the way they played. The thing is, when you're playing so well in spots, and Arizona has started so fast at times, played so well at times, all of a sudden you kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit, kind of go into cruise control, and not intentionally, it's just kind of human nature. You kind of relax a little bit, and you got to kind of play through those spots, right? You got to get through that and get your mind focused and locked in for the full duration of the game.
Well, that's the voice of Said Bonner. A little later on, we'll check in again with Joe Pequeno on the sideline. And I'm Floyd Simmons, everybody, and we're now going to throw it to a player profile we have for you. The kicker for this Arizona Rattlers team, Ernesto Lacayo, he has been an opponent a number of times of this Rattlers team, and he always came up short in his efforts. I believe he was 0-18 as an opponent of the Rattlers before now joining the team. And so we've got a piece for you now. It's called Our Rattler's Tale, and our graphics coordinator, his name is Caleb Bushi, part of the team that puts this together. Let's check in and let's learn a little bit more about the Arizona Rattlers kicker, Ernesto Lacayo.
And now, it's time for this week's Rattler's Tale, presented by Serrano's Mexican Restaurants. Rattlers kicker Ernesto Lacayo is currently in his 10th year of kicking in professional football, and is now in his first year with the Arizona Rattlers. After playing at Hastings College, Lacayo began his professional career kicking for the Nebraska Danger in 2011. This created a big culture shock for Lacayo, transitioning from kicking outdoors to inside.
Oh, it was like a deer in the headlights from a rookie coming from the outdoor game to the indoor game. It was a huge adjustment. It was something that, you know, they don't prepare us when we're a young or small goalpost and a smaller field and a different type of ball. So it was very scary at first, but over time, you know, I matured and learned the game.
But being a place kicker is anything but easy. Before every game, Lacayo follows a strict discipline routine to make sure he is ready to kick to the best of his abilities.
Things that I like to do at night before the game is clean my own shoes. It goes back to when I was a kid having to shine my dad's boots, you know, the military style. And that stuck with me even in the professionals, making sure I'm in control. Cleaning them, cleaning the soles, getting more grip and all that stuff. If I don't do that, I feel really, really off. On game days, I don't like to eat on game days. If I do have something, it might be a smoothie that I like to have. I like to play hungry and, earn my food at the end of the game.
Ernesto Lacayo, the kicker for the extra point here. The kick is good.
I think there's a moment in every individual's life when they're young, they feel gravitated towards something. I played soccer, played baseball, I did martial arts, and don't get me wrong, I had a lot of family members who really have big goals and do things. So you never want to be stuck in the shadow, you want to find your own niche. And for me, playing football as a freshman and kicking my first field goal, my first tryout, and putting it right through the middle, it's a euphoric feeling. It's something that I look back and be like, this was something that I was meant to do. And knowing that, it's something that if I want to do something, like my parents said, you're going to do something, do it well or don't do it at all.
That's your Rattlers tale. I'm Caleb Bushy.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
I always make sure I have Victus with me wherever I go. Before and after practice, before and after a workout, even before and after I sleep. Victus is the full package when it comes to rest and recovery.
Victus is safe and effective, and that's the most important detail for us. We need our players on the field on game day, and if we're going to continue our winning ways, then Victus will help our players get as close to 100% as possible.
Play outside. Play inside. Play in style all summer long. Talking Stick Resort's summer playcation starting at $109 a night with a $25 food and beverage credit. Also, take advantage of great deals at Top Golf, Talking Stick Golf Club, iFly, Octane Raceway, Medieval Times, and much more. Summer playcation at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Getting the right loan with the best combination of service rates and fees isn't always as easy as pushing a button, particularly for people who don't fit the cookie-cutter approval process. The square pegs, the self-employed, recently divorced, less than perfect credit, steadfast hard workers. At Nova Home Loans, we work hard to deliver real loans to real people living real lives. Nova Home Loans. Together, we've got this.
I always make sure I have Victus with me wherever I go. Before and after practice, before and after a workout, even before and after I sleep. Victus is the full package when it comes to rest and recovery.
Victus is safe and effective, and that's the most important detail for us. We need our players on the field on game day, and if we're going to continue our winning ways, then Victus will help our players get as close to 100% as possible.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Getting the right loan with the best combination of service rates and fees isn't always as easy as pushing a button, particularly for people who don't fit the cookie-cutter approval process. The square pegs, the self-employed, recently divorced, less than perfect credit, steadfast hard workers. At Nova Home Loans, we work hard to deliver real loans to real people living real lives. Nova Home Loans. Together, we've got this.
It happened. We got the house! We did! 2,000 miles away.
We do long distance moves every day.
Pods does all the driving and so much more.
Need extra help loading?
Yes.
We got this.
Also might want
more time? We're flexible.
Flexible means you can keep your container longer or store with us. Then we deliver it to your home, across town or across the country.
We made it.
Yeah, you did!
Pods, your personal moving and storage team.
It happened. We got the house! We did! 2,000 miles away.
We do long distance moves every day.
Pods does all the driving and so much more.
Need extra help loading?
Yes.
We got this.
Also might want
more time? We're flexible.
Flexible means you can keep your container longer or store with us. Then we deliver it to your home, across town or across the country.
We made it.
Yeah, you did!
Pods, your personal moving and storage team.
Getting the right loan with the best combination of service rates and fees isn't always as easy as pushing a button, particularly for people who don't fit the cookie-cutter approval process. The square pegs, the self-employed, recently divorced, less-than-perfect credit, steadfast hard workers. At Nova Home Loans, we work hard to deliver real loans to real people living real lives. Nova Home Loans. Together, we've got this.
We're your neighbors, and we're sports fans, huge fans. So come on over. It's game time. There's plenty of food and everything else we know you love. You choose your favorite games to watch and hear. We're your home for sports, Arizona. So join us today at CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
Before and after practice, before and after a workout, even before and after I sleep. Victus is the full package when it comes to rest and recovery.
Victus is safe and effective, and that's the most important detail for us. We need our players on the field on game day, and if we're going to continue our winning ways, then Victus will help our players get as close to 100% as possible.
Back live at the arena, and a 30-28 score. Rattlers coming out to warm up, get ready and loosened up for the second half. We'll get underway in just a moment. And a big thank you, folks, for joining us on our broadcast coverage of Arizona Rattlers football here. As you watch live locally across the valley on LATV, digital channel 44.1. Those listening as well and watching on the IFL's YouTube channel, want to thank you for being a part of it with us, as well as on our great friends 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports in Arizona. Floyd Simmons and Sed Bonner.
And the big question for me, Mr. Simmons, is will we see McCollum? And I don't think we will.
Well, I'm going to guess that the way he went off the field, they're going to take a lot of precautions with him.
Yeah, he's definitely a talented guy, and anytime you're dealing with lower body injuries, it's definitely not a fun deal. But Jordan Jolly, I believe, is going to take over for him, and he just hopped out of the locker room. Did Charles McCollum.
And it looks like Joe Pequeno is standing by. was standing by, and we'll see if we can get with Joe here in just a moment. He's got head coach Kevin Guy. Hey, Joe. All right, Joe, thanks. Here's the kick, and it's going to be batted around, and Jared Harrington was playing way up as they're trying to work him into the equation somehow on the return, and he has to go back and cover it up at about the 9-yard line. So Joe reporting, if you didn't hear the audio, Joe was reporting that the starting quarterback for Spokane, Charles McCollum, sprained his ankle. He is not going to play quarterback here, at least not to start the second half. And that is going to fall on the shoulders of Jordan Jolly, I believe. He is going to be the second half starter.
He's played quarterback before in this league and done a nice job when he's had an opportunity.
Give left side, and the ball is loose. Spokane says they've got it, and they do. The officials agree with it, and the ball carrier, Daryl Monroe, gets up. He gets up, gimpy, trying to hobble his way and trying desperately just to stay on his feet as he's walking off toward the sideline. He does not look good at all coming off the field.
Well, you see a nice cut inside, and he just gets twisted up a little bit.
Well, if you'll bear with me for a moment on just a little something, we're going to try and see if we can help enhance our audio. Here is a fake, and the quarterback, Jolly, will keep it himself, and he will dive to just maybe short of the stick. That's going to be a tough one. Just eyeballing it. Nope, they say he got it to the 1-yard line, and that's a first down.
Well, and listen, going way back to his days playing in Wichita Falls with Coach Back, he stepped in and was 9 of 13 for 103 yards. Like, he's got experience, and Coach Back is confident in his abilities. And then you throw in the fact that he's a good athlete and can run at 6'2", 210. That makes it tough.
Well, the running back is not going to escape that tenacious Rattlers defense near the goal line. In fact, this will be a loss of at least a yard on the play. Trying to carry it around that left side, Devontae Sapp-Lynch just ran into a wall, and the ball will go back to the 2-yard line.
You try to sneak those runs into the boundary every now and again. Maybe try to catch Arizona out of position, but a great job staying home and defending the edge by the Rattlers.
And Jolly back to throw. Takes a look, likes what he sees as it opens up in front of him. And the quarterback takes it in. Well, the guy that had to come in relief quickly gets the job done and gets his team into the end zone.
I'm sorry, but that's too easy. This defense is too good to give that away. You're looking right at him. You know his strength is to run the ball. You know his strength is to run the ball. You've got to play for it. Make him beat you with his arm. Make him prove it. That's like making Ben Simmons shoot threes. Let him all day long, right? Don't let him drive past you.
Agreed. 34-30. Spokane trying to add the point after. Kick is up, and the kick is successful. 35-30. Spokane right back out in front in a classic back and forth matchup. It keeps going. The lead has changed hands a number of times now in the game said.
Well, the biggest thing is, for the Rattlers, 2 turnovers. 2 turnovers have cost them. And Spokane has yet to turn the ball over. They consider a turnover on downs a turnover, but it's really not a turnover, right? It's a different kind of deal. Rattlers just need to take care of the ball and then be really diligent on assignment football here in the second half.
I think what, if I might presume upon you, I think what you mean to say is that you expect, especially in this game, a handful of turns over on downs, right? We're gonna see that because people are gonna take. You're gonna take a lot of fourth down chances.
Correct. But as an offensive guy, that made my stomach kind of queasy when you just said you're going to see a lot of those turnover on downs. I don't like that. That's not how we roll.
That is not the way you drew it up, is it? Here's the ball that caroms high into the hands of Harrington's hands. A yard deep in the end zone. Tries to find something up front, and he's knocked down at the 14-yard line. Finally got a chance to see him handle the ball out of a deep return, but he was unable to turn that into anything too spectacular. We're going to check in with Joe Pequeno again right after this the first down play.
The big question is who's going to take over in the backfield for Monroe? Or are the Rattlers going to go empty and not use a back?
And the Beastie Boys setting up the Rattlers' first down play. Drew Powell puts those 2 men in motion from the right side. Powell looking that direction and now throws over the middle, throws a dart, completes it to the Spokane 24-yard line. Well done on a 12-yard pass play, and the guy on the receiving end of that was Braxton Haley, hauling it in for the Rattlers.
Nice little PC route, post curl over the middle of the field. Really do a nice job getting Jamal Miles through, and then watch him check down to hold the linebacker. Nice little window to make that throw, and a good, accurate, on-time throw by Drew Powell.
Boy, I am looking and trying to spy Joe Pequeno and can't quite find him on my radar, but we're going to look for him here in just a moment. Harrington goes in motion, and a huge collision in the backfield, but Powell comes out of it with the football, and that defender just absolutely rocked the world of both Drew Powell and his protection in the backfield.
And I believe it's Micah Robinson.
Look at this hit. And he just picked the wrong guy to take down.
He had his hand on it. Drew's just too big and strong and is able to keep going and get away.
Somehow Powell ends up with a 2-yard net gain on the play to the 22-yard line.
Talk about playing in the other team's backfield. That's a great get off by Micah Robinson.
That was a spectacular defensive play, really. And Powell flushed. Look at him. Nice job dipping outside. Goes past the defender. Dipsy-do inside the 10-yard line. And he's going to get knocked down right at the 4-yard line. Now that was a special run by Drew Powell. That is good for 18 yards and a big first down. Tack on to his league-leading rushing totals.
You've got more than we can block in the backfield, right? You're bringing 4. When you're doing that, you've got to have your ends have to be really smart and contained. You cannot allow Drew Powell to get outside. He is so good with the ball in his hands.
There's your look at Drew Powell lining him up under center. Handoff right side. Jamal Miles takes it into the end zone. And that's a Rattlers touchdown.
Great play call.
Well, listen, I asked Coach Guy yesterday about pounding the rock. It just seems like he loves to do that. He's originally a defensive player, right? He was a great defensive back in the league when he played in his days. And I'm sure he'd love to throw if it's given to him, but boy, he likes to push the ball in that way, doesn't he?
Man, just a great job up front. Really just sealing and driving defenders out of the area. to give Jamal Miles that crease. And we talked about the rookies getting starts and getting time on that offensive line. Outstanding job.
Hey, let's grab a timeout. 37-35 our score. The Rattlers go back in front. And you are listening to and watching Arizona Rattlers football. Stand by.
Play outside. Play inside. Play in style all summer long. Talking Stick Resort's summer playcation starting at $109 a night with a $25 food and beverage credit. Also, take advantage of great deals at Top Golf, Talking Stick Golf Club, iFly, Octane Raceway, Medieval Times, and much more. Summer playcation at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Getting the right loan with the best combination of service rates and fees isn't always as easy as pushing a button, particularly for people who don't fit the cookie-cutter approval process. The square pegs, the self-employed, recently divorced, less-than-perfect credit, steadfast hard workers. At Nova Home Loans, we work hard to deliver real loans to real people living real lives. Nova Home Loans. Together, we've got this.
I always make sure I have Victus with me wherever I go. Before and after practice, before and after a workout, even before and after I sleep. Victus is the full package when it comes to rest and recovery.
Victus is safe and effective, and that's the most important detail for us. We need our players on the field on game day, and if we're going to continue our winning ways, then Victus will help our players get as close to 100% as possible.
Hey, back in for the kickoff. And fielded by Evans. Brought out to about the 13-yard line where the Rattlers are standing by to corral him. And standing by on the field for us is our Joe Pequeno.
Thank you, Floyd. We have an injury update on Daryl Monroe talking to team Dr. Sheldon Martin. He said of Monroe that he has an ankle injury. It didn't look good. Monroe limped off in crutches. So Jamal Miles steps in at running back. Mr. Everything did that just at ASU. Now he's doing it here for the Arizona Rattlers as injuries are mounting for both squads in this one.
All right, Joe, thank you for that.
That's the nature of a physical rivalry, right? And Jamal Miles, I mean, you're going to have to step in and play tailback, but you're also going to have to block, rushing linebacker, 6'3", 240 coming downhill. You're going to have to get a piece of that, take care of your quarterback. But I'm sure Kevin will devise a plan to use the rushing attack to not put him in that situation.
2nd down and 6. Jolly, he'll step up and he won't escape. Great job on defense to not give up on the play by Larry Tharp Jr. because he could easily have been ran off the floor on that, and he just stayed with the quarterback and tracked him down.
He did. Continue to work down the line, and that pressure caused the throw not to come out. Again, Cameron Solomon open on the post route, but because of that pressure was so intense, Jordan Jolly not able to set his feet and throw it.
So a 3-yard gain will put the ball at the 16-yard line. The motion men, Jolly, quick release, far side. And the guy that had to come in relief at quarterback delivers a very nice ball and a gain of about 7 yards, just a little bit more than necessary for the first down. Edgar Poe hauling in the pass. Jordan Jolly, the snap, the handoff, collision, marker down, and a tackle made after a short gain. About a 2-yard pickup on the play for Sap Lynch.
Got to keep them honest. They want to be aggressive throwing the ball, but you got to keep them honest with those rushing attempts.
Illegal defense on Ricky Wyatt Jr.
And he's got to be 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. And not even a toenail can be over that line. But he's got to be in perfect position. And they'll get him set.
First down play, 1st and 5. Ball at the Rattlers' 22-yard line. Jolly throws over the middle, broken up. And another fine defensive play turned in by a guy who's just kind of made a night of doing that. Dylan Winfrey would certainly be a candidate for a defensive player of the game call out tonight. He breaks up another pass.
Yeah, he does. And you know, you as a defensive back, you're taught to drive the football and continue to do so. Right there, he beats Troy Evans Jr. to the ball because he stops his feet, doesn't continue running through it. Great defensive play, good drive and finish.
5:23 on the clock. Third quarter action, the sidearm delivery down the sideline. That'll go out of bounds, and the intended receiver is now, he's getting up, and he is favoring that right leg of his.
I believe that's Poe, Edgar Poe.
Didn't see what happened, but maybe on the replay look we're about to follow right here, we'll see if there was contact. Well, he just fell down.
Yeah, he was trying to stop, and he was up against the wall, pinned up against the wall a little bit there, so it's so many things can happen when you're running full speed. Just makes it tough.
So let's stop play for a moment while they give Poe a chance to get off the field. It's been a costly game so far. A couple of frontline starters on that offense for Spokane are now missing. Their quarterback, Charles McCallum, is out with a sprained ankle, and now Poe is gone.
He was kind of grabbing the back of his leg, the lower area of his hamstring. I've never been fast enough to pull any muscles, so I've never had that. Never had to grab a hamstring.
You don't know that feeling,
I don't
do you?
know that feeling.
3rd down and 5. Jordan Jolly looking over the middle and through his receiver's hands. That was going to be a tough catch anyway. And once again, the guy there that helps influence that play and now comes over to break up a potential fight in the backfield is that same defender, Dylan Winfrey.
Oh.
So he breaks up the pass, and he has the presence of mind to see that his guy in the backfield's getting in trouble. So goes to help out.
Well, Devonzo.
Oh, now he said something going off the field.
Said one too many. They told him.
He's going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct, isn't he?
Well, he and I believe it's Brandon Smith are going at it.
See how much of that we get. There was the breakup on defense, so I didn't really get a look at it.
Listen, you just gotta. I understand it's intense down there, but you gotta just be smart. They let you keep talking. Eventually, they're gonna throw the flag. So you gotta just kind of back off at some point. Don't let it get to that point. Walk right up to that line and stand on it, but don't hop over it.
First down play coming up after the penalty. The ball at the 11-yard line of the Rattlers. And the handoff, and it just squirts right out of the hands of the running back. And he is going to get knocked down for a big loss. He'll end up losing about 8 yards on the play. The guy that was carrying, Devontae Sapp Lynch, and the ball just squirted right out of his hands. So I've got to take a station ID for our radio partners here in the Valley. KQFN Tempe, also translating on K25 CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. And we're talking about 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. Second down play now coming up. The ball marches all the way back to the 18-yard line. Jolly looks to throw. A lot of time. Opens up in the middle. And he'll find room to run to about the 5-yard line.
That's just too. I mean, that's too easy. We've seen him try to make throws. You're gonna have to spy him. I think the guys in the secondary are going to have to cover because the damage he's doing is with his legs. There's nothing happening with his arm that's hurting the Rattlers.
See kind of adjustments that defensive-minded coach Kevin Guy has to offer up. The Rattlers holding on to a 2-point lead right now, 37-35. Jolly throws back across the field, and a diving attempt, and it's intercepted. On the sideline, a beautiful diving interception made. And the guy that makes it, I think that was
Montavious Atkinson. Steps up. You see they're just in base. They went straight man outside. You're in base. You got two backers at 5 yards. And a big mistake there by Jordan Jolly, drifting to his left, trying to throw the ball back across the field. And Atkinson reads it and jumps it.
Let's look at that again. A pretty good look from our field camera.
So watch Atkinson work to his left. He sees the back leak out, but right there, he's all over that throw.
He just wasn't fooled, was he?
Great job.
So 37-35, the Rattlers continue to hold that lead and a chance to go in front on a possession by 2 scores, which would be the first time today for Arizona. Here is a little pass caught out of the backfield. Not much happening for Jamal Miles.
Great call, and again, we're talking about how they're going to be able to use Jamal Miles and be smart about it. Amherst Bailey does a nice job of staying home in the middle, but that's the guy you got to go get. That's the one guy you can't miss on the screen.
Hey, let's go to Joe Pequeno. He's got some news for us down on the sideline. Hey, Joe?
Absolutely. I'm here with Montavious Atkinson, who came up with a big pick. Montavious, walk us through that play, a game-changing play.
Oh, yes, sir. It was me and my linebacker. We was in the box. My linebacker pulled up for the run. My linebacker went to the quarterback, and I automatically get running back, and I seen him leaking out, so I just broke on it, and he threw the ball, and I made the play.
Great play. From facing McCollum to now to Jolly.
Oh, not much of change, though. You know, we just think he's going to run, so we got to set ourselves up for the run first rather than the throw.
Thanks, Montavious.
Thank you, Joe. Let's see, Braxton Haley hauls in a pass to the 16-yard line and a first down for Drew Powell and the Rattler offense. To the line, in motion, quick throw, near side, pass caught, and it's dropped. Incomplete. Pelletier, the intended receiver, couldn't hold on.
They've been waiting for Troy Pelletier to break out. Big body, talented kid, 6'3", 210. But you got to look that one in. When you're trying to get things on track and finish out a game the right way, I know there's a entire quarter left to be played, but every possession matters when you're trying to stack up and pick up and add to your lead. Got to focus.
Powell sends him in motion again, fakes, keeps, and the defense did a good job of making sure that he couldn't find a seam to cut back up into. They're going to knock him down. Spokane's shock defense knocks him down at about the 19-yard line. 3-yard game.
Again, that's keep him honest play. We're trying to get a couple yards. Really well played there by the shock. And it all comes to this.
Comes to the end of the third period is what it does. We are 3 quarters into this thing. 37-35, the Rattlers with the football and the lead as we now go to the fourth quarter. Everybody stand by. We'll continue from the snake pit. Right after this, it's Rattlers football. Don't go anywhere.
It happened. We got the house! We did! 2,000 miles away.
We do long distance moves every day.
Pods does all the driving and so much more.
Need extra help loading?
Yes.
We got this.
Also might want
more time. We're flexible.
Flexible means you can keep your container longer or store with us. Then we deliver it to your home, across town or across the country.
We made it.
Yeah, you did.
Pods, your personal moving and storage team.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Play outside. Play inside. Play in style all summer long. Talking Stick Resort's summer playcation starting at $109 a night with a $25 food and beverage credit. Also, take advantage of great deals at Topgolf, Talking Stick Golf Club, iFly, Octane Raceway, Medieval Times, and much more. Summer playcation at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Hey everybody, it's Arizona Rattlers football. And you are watching on LA TV, digital channel 44.1 in the Valley. Thank you also for joining us on the Indoor Football League YouTube channel. Floyd Simmons and Sed Bonner bringing you the action here. I want to thank our replay sponsors, Nova Home Loans, for giving us the great looks from across the arena here, the Snake Pit, Phoenix Suns Arena. 37-35, the Rattlers in front as we get set to get the fourth quarter underway. Rattlers own the football. They'll have a 3rd down and 7 from their own 19-yard line.
Those big guys up front have done a nice job.
And we're going to get a
false start,
illegal procedure on the offense. The guys in motion, you get a little bit of grace, right? You get a little bit of grace, but you can't be 5 yards downfield at the snap.
No. Now, back in the day, they used to let us get away with that. And you would walk that line as close as possible. Let them hit 3-4 yards. But it's unfair advantage. I get it.
So that's going to bring it back 5 yards and set up 3rd down and just a shade over 12 yards to go for Drew Powell in the offense. Well, 3rd and 12 in this game. You got Drew Powell at quarterback. That's not too.
You also got 2 downs to get it.
That's achievable.
They're not kicking.
And Powell's going to slip a tackle in the middle, go right up the middle, and look at him go. The parting of the seas, and Drew Powell thunders his way into the end zone for a Rattler touchdown.
A 36-yard run by Drew Powell. Flag for the play.
Just like that, Drew Powell took 3rd down and 12, and he decided he was going to get the whole thing at one time. And a great look from that angle. And just watch Drew muscle his way into the end zone to get the points on the board.
I mean, that was terrific effort. And what
So after the play, Jared Harrington is flagged for an unsportsmanlike conduct.
I think he was trying to go. The ball came out, and he was trying to go cover the ball, even though it was a touchdown. But he was behind the play, so didn't know that it was a score. I don't know if he was trying to, interfere or do anything like that. But that's a tough one.
Assessed on the kickoff.
Yes,
if you can assess such a thing on the kickoff. Ernesto Lacayo will step on and try to punch it through and
hooked it.
Missed it left. And they're tangled up on the turf. And it looks like everybody's okay after all of that. The kick is good. It's 43-35. The Rattlers go up well. Now that missed point after there could end up being a big point of contention here with an 8-point lead now. The Rattlers move out in front here in the late going. 13:51 remaining in this fourth period.
Still a one-possession game. Spokane's got to find a way to really kind of take advantage of their ability to run the ball. They're still one-possession game. You can run the ball. You have time to do that.
Hey, let's go down on the field. Joe Pequeno standing by. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Floyd, here with Drew Powell. Drew, 3rd and 12. You take off running for the big, long touchdown.
Kind of similar to the last one. They keep playing the same defense. They keep blitzing me, and they playing man-to-man. So once I break out the pocket, there's nobody there to tackle me, so I'm going to just make the play.
What about this big rushing offense, running all over this Spokane #1 defense?
Yeah, man. The O-line, bro. The O-line, man. From the first play, they pancaking everybody, making big plays. All the plays that you see are all because of those guys up front.
The big guys getting it done up front. The league's leading rusher getting it done on the ground, Floyd.
All right, Joe, thanks. On the kickoff, multiple flags are down. Well, Drew Powell just kind of saying, they gave it to him and he took it.
Well, you rush out of control, you get out of a lane, and with guys like we've seen tonight, both quarterbacks, really, but Drew Powell's a special talent. I've already said he's an elite rusher, elite runner with the ball in his hands. You've got to be disciplined up front. And it's going to end up on the 10-yard line or the 20-yard line. Okay.
So they mark off a penalty on Spokane, and then they marked off the Rattlers' previous unsportsmanlike penalty. So ball at the 20-yard line for the Shock.
You got elite rushers. You have to keep them bottled up and force him to prove it. Now, Drew Powell has proven he can throw the ball and be successful throwing the ball. He's proven that. He may have had some struggles, but he's got a history. Not so sure you could say the same thing about Jordan Jolly consistently.
Motion man, and Jolly wants to throw, and he's got some trouble. Escapes it. Good job of reversing field down that sideline, and he is going to step out inside the 15-yard line. Well,
and again, what were my comments? You can't be out of control.
That's right.
So heck bent on getting the sack that you allow him to get out.
Rush discipline, lane discipline, and good job by Jolly to sense that little bit of room that was developing to his left. Stepped in that direction, and he made the Rattlers defense pay in a big way. He's got the ball at the 12-yard line. 43-35. Rattlers in front, the quick toss. And Sap Lynch will bring it back the other direction. He will reverse field, try to work his way to something, and he got it to the 9-yard line. Maybe a 3-yard pickup on the play. And we'll get a stoppage play. Another injured player. And this is going to be a name you don't want to hear. Ricky Wyatt Jr. getting dinged up. He is sitting on the turf right now. See if we can find out what happened in the play.
This one looks more maybe hydration related to me. Doesn't look too bad. This looks more hydration related. Got to get your fluids in you.
Get him some water, get him to the sideline for a minute.
Right there. Your shoulders should never, ever get flattened out across that line of scrimmage. If you're the backside end, Josh Gordon's got to do a better job of staying square, forcing the guy back in. Once your shoulders turn all the way and you're running parallel with the line of scrimmage, he has a chance to escape and get around you, which is what just happened.
Ball sits at the Rattlers' 9-yard line for Spokane's offense. And Jordan Jolly will look over the middle. His throw into traffic, broken up. There's that name again. Going to call him out, Dylan Winfrey.
Troy Evans just wants a lob. Not a lob, but you want to throw the 2 ball, not the 1 ball. He has him beat. He's way inside, has a ton of room to run out to the corner. He's all the way inside by the middle hash. All you got to do is put some touch on that throw outside and let him go get it. But instead, he tries to wait and drill it in there. Gives Dylan a chance to get back in on the play.
43-35. The Rattlers massaging a lead right now with 11:59 remaining in the fourth period. And there's that touch pass toward the corner of the end zone, but it's out of bounds.
Towards the upper deck?
It's just a little bit too long.
That's tough to do from the 5-yard line, or from the 7-yard line, 8-yard line, excuse me. If they keep backing up, I'll say the 9-yard line. But that's tough to do from the 9-yard line out of shotgun to get that ball up and down in that tight space. You might want to get up under center and take a direct snap if you're going to try and throw that quick fade.
That was, by the way, Edgar Poe back into the game after the earlier injury for Spokane, so Shock fans will be happy about that. Here's a throw into the end zone, and that is broken up and nearly intercepted. In fact, it was Edgar Poe who probably kept that interception from happening. Still trying to identify that defender who is very unhappy with himself just at the moment because he did not make the play, and I think it was Timmy. No, it couldn't have been. It's an offensive player I was about to call out here. Let's look at that. There we go.
27.
Yeah,
Devin
I believe
Cockrell.
that. Cockrell is the guy that had a shot at it. It's one of those you'd love to have back. If you're the defender, if you're Coach Guy.
Well, you get the ball and, better field position, right? Just get it on the 5 if it's just a pick. So now you got a couple more yards. He was thinking about the team first.
To the line in motion. Pelletier, by the way, gets behind the defender. They're going to throw his direction down the sideline, but there was whistles, and they'll stop the play before it can develop. False start on the offense. That'll move it back to right around the 4.5-yard line.
Did they call it on Pelletier?
It's possible. He had a step or two across that line.
Well, he's in motion, and that's on the quarterback. I know you got 2 guys to handle, but that's on Drew. He's got to make sure those guys that he's snapping the ball prior to them getting to that line of scrimmage.
Here they come. And here comes Powell. Stepping up. Look at the time to throw.
He missed Harrington.
He'll dump it out. He's got a man that has might have first down yardage. And, dragged and pulled down from behind, looking for markers. There are none so far.
Now, if he pulled his hair, that's one thing.
That is about a 17-yard pickup on the play.
Yeah, Jared Harrington, they played zone to the field, ran too deep. Jared Harrington ran a crossing route right underneath our booth. Was wide open on this side of the field, but he still finds an open receiver, and he's able to take it upfield for some action.
Jamal Miles is that guy that just ran that ball, got the ball to the 23. Got a pretty generous spot, actually, out of it. The Rattlers will take that at the 23-yard line. Rattlers in front by 8. Can they make it a extended 2-score lead right now? Here is the give, the bounce outside, right side, and Jamal Miles, who has had to come in and play running back in place of Daryl Monroe, who injured himself earlier in the game, picks up 11 big yards right there on that fourth quarter carry.
Okay, this is just straight outside zone right here. Great job by the offensive line. Quick burst, he's under center. See him get the edge. Great finish up front by Jones. Gets his man turned and gets him out of the way. But a great cut up and inside by Jamal Miles.
Well, that running back core for the Rattlers is certainly suffering right now. Here's the give to Pelletier from his spot in motion.
Well, you think about if Monroe can't go, you still got a guy like Nick Lassane waiting in the wings, right?
Well, Nick is, I think Nick is suffering injury right now as well. But when he's healthy, I mean, he came out at the beginning of the season, had a big first game of the year for the Rattlers. He is a special running back and a specimen of a running back, just like Monroe. 2 big guys in that backfield. Right now, most of that duty belonging to Jamal Miles, who gets the carry left side, and Miles will get a first down.
The patience, and that's that former tailback in him right there. You see the patience, kind of hop skips and finds it, and then turns on the jets and makes it to the first down marker.
And plus one, six-yard gain on the play for Miles. He takes it to the 5-yard line, and this is a monster possession right now for the Arizona Rattlers. If they can cash this in, give themselves some breathing room in the fourth quarter. And they're running the football. Miles with the toss.
Good job of taking care of the ball.
Yeah, I didn't get anything out of it, but
you just got to, at that point, once you make that cut, you've got to put the ball away and just take your medicine. Defense had you outnumbered there. That's a great job of taking care of the football and living to see another down.
Second down play on the way. Coach Guy talking it over on the sideline with his quarterback, Drew Powell, who will join the huddle again. Well, map it out for me right here, Coach. What do you like?
I think they're going a sweep read to the left.
There's Peltier. Takes it left side, dives into the end zone. What a play! And Peltier scores the Rattlers touchdown. Troy Pelletier diving into the end zone for the points.
And how about the call? I just told you that's what they were running.
I liked the call a lot.
And I told you before they ran it, that's what they were running.
And you really did.
I got lucky there. So I'll say what it is. I got lucky.
Hey, listen, you're going to be coaching in this league before we know it, aren't you? Maybe. Maybe coaching this IFL league someday.
That would make me happy.
Well, I think that you might make some good play calls there, Coach. Here's the kick up and on the way, and for a second time, back-to-back points after tries, Ernesto Lacayo is unsuccessful on the kick. So that kick sails wide. We grab this timeout. Our score, Arizona 49, Spokane 35. This is Rattlers football. Stand by, everybody.
I always make sure I have Victus with me wherever I go. Before and after practice, before and after a workout, even before and after I sleep. Victus is the full package when it comes to rest and recovery.
Victus is safe and effective, and that's the most important detail for us. We need our players on the field on game day, and if we're going to continue our winning ways, then Victus will help our players get as close to 100% as possible.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Getting the right loan with the best combination of service rates and fees isn't always as easy as pushing a button, particularly for people who don't fit the cookie-cutter approval process. The square pegs, the self-employed, recently divorced, less than perfect credit, steadfast hard workers. At Nova Home Loans, we work hard to deliver real loans to real people living real lives. Nova Home Loans. Together, we've got this.
So the Arizona Rattlers have taken a 49-35 lead here in the fourth quarter. Well, Cedric Bonner, this Rattlers team got a slow start today and are having the stronger finish than what they've probably had most of their outings this season so far. They've been slow in finishing. They've given up leads. They've given up a lot of fourth quarter points on the campaign. But here in this one today, they seem to be playing with a little bit more urgency.
Well, I think when you kind of dig a hole, they got down early and a couple turnovers. Not something you see from this team, but they've been able to overcome the turnovers and get it done.
Kick taken at the back wall. Very nice move by Evans to get some breathing room as he makes a sharp 90 cut toward the sideline and then snuck around the coverage man to get down that side a little bit. Pretty good return out to the 18-yard line, 17-yard line. It'll be, well, they'll make it to 15, and that's a first down for the Shock.
Still plenty of time. This is a game that you could score quick. The Rattlers just need to lock in defensively and force this shock team to earn every inch on the field.
Jordan Jolly looking deep down the right side. And his receiver might have just anticipated a half a step early. The ball is incomplete out on the far side, but it looked like he just kind of got in the air early. Cameron Solomon, the intended receiver, and he couldn't haul it in.
He tries to go up and take the ball out of the air. Could have just let that one come down to his hands and box out. You never want to fault a guy for going to attack the football when it's in the air, but I mean, that's a big one. Anytime you could start getting them behind the sticks a little bit.
Jolly sets to throw, and out of the backfield had a man, but he just led him too much. The pass was too tall for Sap Lynch, who, it was a really good play design. They ran everybody off, and he came out of the backfield.
They ran like a slide protection. They blocked the left guard down, the center down to the right side, and the back went at the defensive end like he was going to block him and wheeled right up the sideline. Well-designed play. Those are the ones you got to hit. You don't get chances to make big plays.
That's probably where you miss your starting quarterback, Charles McCallum. He probably throws that a whole lot more with the ones in practice. Jolly looking to throw right side. Nice delivery on this pass. And he finds his guy. The pass is caught by Cameron Solomon, and that's good for about 8 yards. It'll bring up 4th down and a couple.
Well, and with his ability to run here, this makes him dangerous. With he and Sap Lynch in the backfield, you got options.
So a 4th down and 2 play right here. You don't worry about this, do you?
No.
Situation like this, and you got a quarterback like that.
And quarterback and a running back that runs the ball well. Billy Back's a good play caller. He'll dial up something to make it tough.
They'll work from the shotgun. The 2 men in motion from the left side. Jolly, he's running all the way, and he is not going to get it. What a defensive stand by the Rattlers. And they're going to come off the field.
That's great. That's a great get off the field by that defense.
Larry Tharp Jr. makes another big play on the front line for that Rattlers defense.
Yeah, and he just overwhelmed the left guard over there. Brandon Smith got his arms extended, got control of the blocker, played right off of him and went and made the tackle. They tried to run a design QB draw and lead the fullback, but great D by the Rattlers.
That was a terrific play, and we'll see if Joe is going to grab the man of the moment with that huge defensive play. We'll talk to him right after this first down play. And we'll get a marker down. And they give us a chance to delay game on the offense. They're going to walk it back just a little bit. And Joe Pequena will give us a word with the defensive player of the moments.
Thank you, Floyd. Here with Larry Tharp Jr. Larry, talk me through that play. Way to get after it.
Thank you, man. I just played my assignments, Contain, he burst out, made the play easy.
How about this defense stepping up in the second half, containing that high-powered Spokane offense?
Hey, man, I love it. We're good. We got to stay disciplined. It's a long game, but we got to keep going.
How motivated was this squad when this team came to your house?
Man, this is another game for me. Let's go, touchdown! This is another game for me,
Look at that play. The Rattlers find a man wide open down the right sideline. It's Braxton Haley, and he hauls it in for the 22-yard touchdown strike for the Rattlers.
Great play call. They're playing a little aggressive. See the man-to-man on both sides. They just run a little hitch and go. And a great job by Drew Powell to put some touch on the ball as Haley beats Marcus Smith on the double move route. Makes it look easy. Great touch on that throw.
Well, have the Rattlers have they settled down the situation here today?
Well, I think they've settled down and they've played more consistent defense. To keep it honest and be real about it, they were starting to get a handle on McCollum as well when he was in the game. But when he went down with the injury, it's been tough sledding for the Shock ever since.
Well, there's a minute left in the game. It's not just a natural break here on the touchdown, but it's also the 1 minute warning here in the fourth period. The Rattlers rolling over the Shock in the fourth quarter. It's 56-35. We'll take this timeout. This is Rattlers football. Stand by, everybody.
It happened. We got the house! We did! 2,000 miles away.
We do long distance moves every day.
Pods does all the driving and so much more.
Need extra help loading?
Yes.
We got this.
Also might want
more time. We're flexible.
Flexible means you can keep your container longer or store with us. Then we deliver it to your home, across town or across the country.
We made it.
Yeah, you did!
Pods, your personal moving and storage team.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Play outside. Play inside. Play in style all summer long. Talking Stick Resort's summer playcation starting at $109 a night with a $25 food and beverage credit. Also, take advantage of great deals at Topgolf, Talking Stick Golf Club, iFly, Octane Raceway, Medieval Times, and much more. Summer playcation at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Well, a big fourth quarter for the Arizona Rattlers finds them out in front 56-35. Tonight at home at the Snake Pit. And Ernesto Lacayo is going to kick it away. He hit the scoreboard, and that's going to be a dead ball. Just got a little bit too much on the foot wedge. Got that thing up a little high.
Missed a couple extra points, hit the scoreboard. Coach Jarnigan's going to have something at least to yell at the kid about. He's been so consistent, so good this year. You got to have something to give him the business about.
Well, he picked a good game if he's going to have he's going to be off just a bit. A game where his team is right now leading by 3 touchdowns. With enough time, by the way, I'm going to admit, for Spokane to do something here, but if the Rattlers just keep pace, it's a moot point. First down play in the backfield, they give it up, and a huge defensive play. Sap Lynch had the ball, but Nicholas Diavanzo.
Diavanzo does a great job. However, Jordan Jolly does not. That's your read. That's your guy. You have to watch. You've got to pull that and run it. Even though there's a defender sitting there waiting on you, you still have to pull that ball because you can go get a yard or 2.
Left his running back defenseless. And he ended up losing about 6 yards on the play. He'll get it. He'll get it all back. Here he comes down the left sideline. And that'll be a big play. Goes inside the 20-yard line. Close to the 15 before they finally mark him down. So he needed 16. He ended up getting about 20 yards on the play. Now they're discussing whether or not he should be marked back, and there is a marker down near the sideline as well. So there's a lot of activity going on.
Oh, that's a good call. They called a block in the back on Cameron Solomon, who's had a tough night. That's a good call. All you do is stand there. You don't have to put your hands on him. Just stand there. He's going to turn around and try to run through you. You've got space.
Illegal block in the back. Brings it all the way back. Well, I mean, that was just a terrific run by Sap Lynch that gets completely erased. 15 seconds remaining in regulation. Both teams with 3 timeouts, but Don't think we're going to see more than maybe a timeout or two used. And Sap Lynch gets buried in the backfield. Another great job up front by that defensive core. And it's DeVonzo. And that'll bring us to the end of regulation and run it right out right there. The Shock were not going to call timeout and try to extend any of this. That's how it ends, on a punctuation mark by DeVonzo and that defensive line. That defensive line played a great game all night long for the Rattlers.
They were consistent early on, had their issues, but they continued to just work through them, play assignment football, and got better as the game went along and finished with a flurry in the fourth quarter.
What a terrific job. I know that we're going to want to speak to head coach Kevin Guy before he gets off the field. So I know that Joe is working his way down toward Coach Guy, who is standing right at about the 5-yard line last time I saw him. 56-35. The finish, the big victory tonight for the Rattlers at home in front of Rattler Nation. And I'm looking to see, do we have Joe? Wave at me if we've got you, Joe. And I think we've got him. Joe Pequeno is standing by with a victorious head coach.
Well, Coach, big defense in the second half, big plays on offense in the second half.
Yeah, we kind of settled down. I mean, they were at a disadvantage once their quarterback was out. I was a little disappointed in how we started the second half, but we kind of settled down and made the plays we needed to make and executed to win the game.
How about the veterans stepping up on the defensive side to really contain Jolly and pull this one out in the big way in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, the defense played well all night, and I've always felt like we've had one of the better defensive. It just took us a few weeks to start doing what we were coaching them to do and executing. So, we just got to keep building from week to week, and we'll have a shot at the end.
Coach, what was impressive when Daryl Monroe went out, Jamal Miles steps in, leads the charge, and of course, Troy Pelletier with a touchdown run on a very convincing, ground-pounding drive for the touchdown.
Yeah, we can run the ball on anybody. We got guys that have heart, and it's a mindset. Blocking and tackling is a mindset. So we're just going to keep growing, keep getting better from week to week, and, be physical. I mean, that's really who we are. So, we got a little short week this week, we got some time off, so we'll get some rest and get ready to roll.
Spokane came in with the number 1 defense. What does it say about the Arizona Rattlers defense?
Well, I felt like we've been number 1 all along. I mean, we just haven't been executing. So, when we do what we're supposed to do, we can play at that level. So, we got the athletes.
There you go. Kevin Guy and the Arizona Rattlers with a victory. They are now 5-1 on the year, and they are in title contention, Floyd.
All right, Joe, good work on that. And we'll be talking with some of the players as well here in our postgame coming up in a few moments, everybody. A huge victory tonight at home for the Rattlers. They take down the Spokane Shock 56-35. The Rattlers move now a game ahead of Spokane. The Rattlers at 5-1 on the season. Spokane drops to 4-2, and we're waiting the outcome of the Frisco Fighters, who came in the lone undefeated team yet in the league, pending the outcome of their latest activity. So we're going to take a timeout. We'll get to our post-game wrap-up here in just a moment. I take it back. Joe Pequeno has somebody for us. We can stay right here. We certainly can. Jamal Miles had to fill in at running back for the injured Daryl Monroe, and we're going to find out about his night. Let's throw it to Joe Pequeno on the sideline. Hey, Joe.
Yeah, thank you, Floyd. I am here with Mr. Everything, Jamal Miles, the name he got back at ASU because he did everything offensively for the Sun Devils. Well, tonight he does everything offensively for the Rattlers and steps up when Daryl Monroe went down. Jamal, talk about switching to running back and that big drive that you led down the field, and Troy Pelletier capping it off with a touchdown run.
This is like situations that we practice throughout the week, just getting people prepared for if somebody go down. So, I was prepared. I make sure I'm locked in every week. So I was ready to dial in once my number was called.
How fired up was this offense, the top-ranked offense in the league, facing the number 1 defense? Because right now the number 1 defense is limping on its way back to Spokane.
I didn't even know that, but that's a good job. We just came out here and executed our plays like Coach told us to. So, we just came out here and did what we were supposed to do.
What about the defense stepping up in the second half, containing Jolly and securing the victory?
Defense did a good job in the second half, making big stops and getting us the ball so we can execute on offense.
Jamal Miles and that offense leading away in the second half, Floyd. We'll have more from down in the turf in just a bit.
All right, Joe, thank you for that. There's some key players out there. I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind hearing from Dylan Winfrey. He broke up a number of passes defensively for the defense today. Larry Tharp Jr., we heard from him earlier in the game, had a brilliant game on that defensive line. Nick DeVonzo had a great game as well defensively. Ricky Wyatt Jr. was there, blocked a kick today, made several plays on defense for the team as well. And on the other side, of course, Drew Powell. What can you say about the quarterback? Let's grab a timeout, everybody, and our post-game wrap-up will commence in earnest in a moment. Final score again, Rattlers 56, the Spokane Shock 35, and we'll continue our wrap-up in just a moment right here. It's Rattlers football. Stand by.
Play outside. Play inside. Play in style all summer long. Talking Stick Resort's summer playcation starting at $109 a night with a $25 food and beverage credit. Also, take advantage of great deals at Top Golf, Talking Stick Golf Club, iFly, Octane Raceway, Medieval Times, and much more. Summer playcation at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Getting the right loan with the best combination of service rates and fees isn't always as easy as pushing a button, particularly for people who don't fit the cookie-cutter approval process. The square pegs, the self-employed, recently divorced, less-than-perfect credit, steadfast hard workers. At Nova Home Loans, we work hard to deliver real loans to real people living real lives. Nova Home Loans. Together, we've got this.
I always make sure I have Victus with me wherever I go. Before and after practice, before and after a workout, even before and after I sleep. Victus is the full package when it comes to rest and recovery.
Victus is safe and effective, and that's the most important detail for us. We need our players on the field on game day, and if we're going to continue our winning ways, then Victus will help our players get as close to 100% as possible.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
It happened. We got the house! We did! 2,000 miles away.
We do long distance moves every day.
Pods does all the driving and so much more.
Need extra help loading?
Yes.
We got this.
Also might want
more time. We're flexible.
Flexible means you can keep your container longer or store with us. Then we deliver it to your home, across town or across the country.
We made it.
Yeah, you did!
Pods, your personal moving and storage team.
Play outside. Play inside. Play in style all summer long. Talking Stick Resort's summer playcation starting at $109 a night with a $25 food and beverage credit. Also, take advantage of great deals at Odyssey, Butterfly Wonderland, Pangea, Mavericks, and much more. Summer playcation at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Well, 56-35, our final score in this one today. Everybody, we welcome you back to the Snake Pits, the home of the Arizona Rattlers, and they take down the Spokane Shock. So the Rattlers moved to 5-1 with the win today, and they'll knock the Shock just down a notch, down to a 4-2 record. Teams that figure in as strong contenders when the playoffs come up at the end of the season. So we may not have seen the last of this matchup between the Rattlers and the Shock. And it was, for three quarters, a pretty impressive back-and-forth game before the Rattlers were able to lock it up in that fourth quarter. What is it about the Rattlers' fourth period today that got the job done for them?
Well, I think the tough defense, which caused Charles McCollum to go out of the ballgame, right? He gets injured, he's out. That makes it tough when you got to bring in your backup. Charles McCollum was 9 of 17. They were 2 of their next 10 for the rest of the game. So they weren't able to get anything going in the passing game. Arizona locked down the rushing attack, stayed in their lane, stayed disciplined, gave up a couple plays, but when it counted, made the right play and got it done on the defensive line.
That defensive line for the Arizona Rattlers today, Nick DeVonzo, a couple of big second-half plays that he put together, and others across that front. It just goes to show you that in this game, the battle in the trenches is just as critical as you would expect it at any level of football.
Absolutely, especially in this game, right? If you win the line of scrimmage, and that's one of Coach Guy's biggest things. Coach Connie Kawai, his offensive line coach, they preach those kind of things. Jeff Jarnigan, they preach those things. You win the line of scrimmage, more times than not, you're going to win the ball game. And Nick DeVonzo, you talked about him making plays late. He got him off to the great start early with the safety, right? Coming off the edge, gets a sack. He's a kid that just makes plays and continues to get better week in and week out, plays with a chip on his shoulder. High-volume kid that's just going to go and go and go.
There's always a little bit of room for compromise. By that I mean if you've got a high-octane quarterback, you get the risk-reward. Sometimes it's not going to go your way, but when it goes your way, it can be like beautiful music out on the field. Drew Pell got the slow start, and then he picked it up in that, especially second half of the game. What a game by Drew today!
Yeah, absolutely, and he just continued to play. He was one of his first 5, and really threw 2 balls that should have been picked where he threw them right at the defender's chest, literally. Finally had one picked off. He finished the game 8 for 13. So the efficiency rose. He got better as the game went. He got his legs involved, did some things to get him going. The league's leading rusher, right? And he showed why today. The Rattlers, 188 yards rushing.
Great job.
On a 50-yard field.
Great job.
188 yards rushing.
You got to love it. Let's throw it down on the field. Joe Pequeno is standing by everybody downstairs with some of the heroes of the day for the Arizona Rattlers in the 56-35 victory. Joe Pequeno.
Thank you, Floyd. Here with a bunch of defensive stars for the Arizona Rattlers. Dylan Winfrey, Devin Cockrell, and Ricky Wyatt Jr., the threesome right here, all stepping up. You know, Dylan, we were talking about this week about stopping that high-octane passing attack. And in the second half, when McCollum went out, Jolly had no room to run.
He didn't, man. We told Coach, man, to trust us, to get out of our defensive game plan, lock it up, and send the pressure. Make him show us that he can throw the ball. And we did just that.
Devin, Troy Evans, one of the most dangerous receivers in this league. First half, he had some room to roam. Second half, you guys locked him up. What was the difference containing him in the second frame?
We got the best secondary in the league right now, man. Come on, man. Arizona Rattler football, man. Come on, man. That's what we do. That's what we do.
All right, let's switch it over to Ricky Wyatt Jr. First, Ricky, talk me through the blocked field goal.
Just a good play call by a coach, you know. We switched some things up, and he trusts us, so we got it done.
Now let's switch it back to Spokane. They came in here, Dylan, with the top-ranked defense in the league. Last I checked, and correct me if I'm wrong, that Arizona Rattlers defense is pretty ridiculously good. How good is this defense? Is it the best in the IFL?
We are the best, but you know what's scary? That still wasn't even a perfect game. Assignments. We gotta get these assignments down, and we got by this game, but once we get to the playoffs, we gotta clean up those assignments, man.
Devin, how about giving some love to the big fellas in the trenches?
Come on, man. That's the heart of the defense, man. They do their job up front. We do our job on the back end, man. So, yeah, we put it all together.
There you go, Ricky. I want to get your thoughts on this team now 5-1, building some momentum after that early season loss to Sioux Falls.
We're not done yet. Just a start. Can't get complacent. We still got work to do.
You know what I love about Ricky? You told me earlier, about a couple weeks ago, with this team, it's championship or bust, and if you don't win it, it'll be disappointment. Is that still the motto?
Yes, but it's on us to take it a game at a time. Don't overlook anybody because arena ball, anything can happen. You got to play each game.
Devin, all about staying level-headed?
Yes, sir. Look, we went 14-0, 15-0, lost in the championship game. You better know we locked in this year.
And Dylan, what's the word for the team moving forward? The team captain addressing his teammates.
Dominate. Whenever we play from here on out, we want every team that we play saying we do not want to play the Rattlers ever again. So dominate. Dominate is the word.
KG say dominate.
and now we're doing it.
KG says dominate. Dylan Winfrey, Devin Cockrell, and Ricky Wyatt Jr. leading a great defensive effort by the Rattlers in the second half. They are now 5-1. And Floyd, as far as I'm concerned, this unit right here, they are the best in the IFL. Back to you.
Well done, Joe Pequeno. And Spokane was the number 1 ranked defense coming in the league, said Bonner. What kind of statement did the Rattlers make today?
I'm going to say scoring. They're number 1. They were the number 1 scoring defense.
Okay.
So to me, there's a big difference. Right?
No doubt, yeah.
There's a big difference. But Arizona's defense is excellent, right? And the statement they made by going out and not really playing well early, but then being able to jump out and put 56 up, come on. I mean, it speaks for itself, right? You don't need to make any statements. To come out and run up 56 points on the top scoring defense in the league, and you didn't get any turnovers. You didn't get any big plays, like Spokane did. Spokane was able to get a couple turnovers, take advantage of them. Arizona didn't. They started slow but continued to build and got it going.
In the marathon, that is a 60-minute football game. That Rattlers team just would not give up, and that relentlessness paid off for them in the fourth quarter with a 21-point victory. Final score 56-35. We've got some more thoughts for you here before we end our broadcast coming up at 10 o'clock. I want to thank you for joining us as you watch live across the valley on LATV, digital channel 44.1. Also, as you listen on local radio in the Valley of the Sun, 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. And those of you who have been watching and listening on the Indoor Football League's YouTube channel, we thank you for being a part of it. We'll conclude our thoughts from the Snake Pit in Phoenix and a 56-35 Arizona Rattlers victory over the Spokane Shock today. Don't go anywhere. We'll wrap it up right after this. Stand by.
Getting the right loan with the best combination of service rates and fees isn't always as easy as pushing a button, particularly for people who don't fit the cookie-cutter approval process. The square pegs, the self-employed, recently divorced, less-than-perfect credit, steadfast hard workers. At Nova Home Loans, we work hard to deliver real loans to real people living real lives. Nova Home Loans. Together, we've got this.
We're your neighbors, and we're sports fans. Huge fans. So come on over. It's game time. There's plenty of food. And everything else we know you love. You choose your favorite games to watch and hear. We're your home for sports, Arizona. So join us today at CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
I always make sure I have Victus with me wherever I go. Before and after practice, before and after a workout, even before and after I sleep. Victus is the full package when it comes to rest and recovery.
Victus is safe and effective, and that's the most important detail for us. We need our players on the field on game day, and if we're going to continue our winning ways, then Victus will help our players get as close to 100% as possible.
It happened. We got the house! We did! 2,000 miles away.
We do long distance moves every day.
Pods does all the driving and so much more.
Need extra help loading?
Yes.
We got this.
Also might want
more time. We're flexible.
Flexible means you can keep your container longer or store with us. Then we deliver it to your home, across town or across the country.
We made it.
Yeah, you did!
Pods, your personal moving and storage team.
Big thank you to Pods and all of our great roster of advertising partners that join us to bring you Rattlers football right here on LATV. And, of course, across the Valley of the Sun on local radio as well. I want to thank 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. That's KQFN Tempe. Also translating on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Thank you for listening and watching on the Indoor Football League's YouTube channel as well, everybody. Floyd Simmons, Sed Bonner, and down on the field, Joe Pequeno. Don't know that we'll have a last chance to talk with him tonight as we get set to wrap things up, but on this night that sees the Rattlers get a 56-35 victory and go to 5-1 on the campaign in front of an electric crowd. This was really a great representative sample of Rattlers Nation tonight, wasn't it, Sed? I mean, the fans came out. They were in force. They sold a lot of seats tonight. This place was rocking, and they were treated to a great football game.
They were, and start to finish, they got a lot of action going. This place is electric. When you get in this building, this new beautiful building, it's my first time in here since the remodel. It's amazing. You get in here and see a game, an Arizona Rattlers game, and Rattler football is playing the way they need to play. This crowd is electric. No other place like it. It's amazing. I still get goosebumps coming in this building, feeling like I'm ready to go run out of the tunnel and play a game. Fans are knowledgeable, they understand the game, and they love their team.
Well, there's no question about that. It has been years in the making for sure, and a great example of what we get to see here tonight. I do want to, by the way, thank all of our sponsoring partners for helping us to bring the action here. Big thank you to Nova Home Loans, presenting sponsors of our replays throughout the game here with Rattlers football. Want to thank Pods for their partnership, the partnership in sponsoring our starting lineups here in our broadcast and more. Thank you to Visit Tucson. A big thank you goes out to Casino Arizona as well. Thanks to Victus for their partnership with the Arizona Rattlers. A big thank you to Ortho Arizona as well. And we want to thank Crescent Crown distributor Modelo for their partnership with us as well here with Arizona Rattlers football. We've got just a moment remaining here in the broadcast. I got 30 seconds for you to give a final thought and say goodbye.
Oh, it's been a blast. I appreciate the opportunity to come back to this building that I feel like is still home to me, to be able to be a part of this and watch a game that I love, man. I love watching this game. I love seeing the competition on this field and the way these guys are playing with their guts and their hearts out there. I mean, I love it. This is amazing for me, and the Rattlers just have a way of finishing.
Been a lot of fun, Sed. Thanks for being here with us on the broadcast tonight. Want to thank as well our director, Bob Hammond, our technical director. That is the great Greg Jones. Our producer is Derek Simmons. Executive producer, yours truly, Floyd Simmons. Graphics operator, graphics technician, that is Caleb Bushi. And I want to thank all of our broadcast team for Sed Bonner, for Joe Pequeno. I'm Floyd Simmons. We'll see you next time for more Rattlers football. A big victory tonight. So long for now, everybody.